All right, 2023 is gone and now is the time to prepare for 2024. So if you are a publisher, here are the 6 advices we would give you so that you can get the most out of your advertising business. And yes, we're going to talk about cookieless inventories for sure. But the first thing you can do, even though it's quite obvious, is to review your ad tech stack. There might be some places where it's sub-optimized or where not all partners are perfectly connected, or maybe you don't have multi-format placements everywhere that can get advertising from display banners, from native banners, and for video banners. And you want to make sure that there is no gaps within your inventory that are either not monetized at all or sub-optimized. There's many other things that you can do, like review your consent rate and make sure that your CMP is perfectly working. Make sure that your ads.txt file is on par with your inventory. If you need some help, Hubvisor does just that, and we offer free audits to make sure that there is no places where we could bring substantial revenue by optimizing your tech stack. The second thing for 2024, of course, is to prepare for the cookiecalypse. So what do you want to do for that? We would recommend, depending on your resources and your time, to experiment as many solutions as possible. There are now plenty of options available, either from big corporations, from industry associations, or from specialized companies who do only that. Another rule of thumb is to already monitor your monetization levels between Safari and Chrome, because Safari doesn't have third-party cookies already and Chrome still have. So if there's big gaps, for example, on your web display inventory on desktop, then that might be an area where you want to try ID solutions first. The last thing that I would advise is to get actually closer to your buyers. It's quite obvious, but oftentimes publishers rely too much on technology and not enough on their commercial relationships. And there could be some interesting solutions or media offers that you can build with agencies and advertisers so that they can continue to have impactful advertising strategies without using third-party cookies. Okay, third advice, sustainability. In 2023, we learned that the digital advertising industry is actually not net zero at all so far, and that its carbon emissions might be way bigger than we initially thought. Because there are so many requests being sent from servers to servers by the thousands per website and potentially per impression, it can make a huge impact on the CO2 emissions of the overall industry. So buyers take more and more action to block any website or inventory or ad placements that do not respond to precise CO2 emissions levels. As a publisher, you want to make sure that you get those standards done in 2024. Now, how do you get started? The first thing is to measure. The good news is that there are plenty of options to choose from now on the market. Once you measure your carbon emissions, you will know where you have the most agility to reduce the carbon emissions. For example, at Hubvisor, we've launched Cleaner this year, which helps publishers reduce the carbon footprint of their overall ad tech stack by reducing the numbers of requests that we send to bidders on a daily basis, and all of that without impacting the business of the publisher. The fourth advice is more strategic and long-term, but it's to try out server-side integrations. Why do you want to do that now? Well, because third-party cookies are going to disappear, and whenever you have a server integrated between you and bidders, there needs to be cookie syncing calls all the way. Without third-party cookies, there is no need to do those cookie syncing calls anymore. And because of that, it becomes way more interesting, profitable, efficient, you name it, to do server-side header bidding. And by doing so, you will reduce the payload on your website by externalizing it on a server so that your website can load even faster. We are already experimenting that at Hubvisor. We are trying out full client-side integrations versus full server-side integrations versus hybrid integrations, where we'll have the best ones on server-side remain on server-side, and the ones who are lagging a little bit stay on client-side because they still bring a lot of revenue for the publisher. The fifth advice is to implement as many optimization techniques as possible. We've seen a lot of innovations regarding publishers at tech stack and optimization. One of them, for example, is dynamic floors. We have a module like this at Hubvisor, but there are many others like Second Chance, smart auto refresh, bid recovery, bid adjustments, and so on and so forth. So if you want to continue to grow, you need those extra optimization techniques so that you get ahead of your competition and get those advertising dollars. And the last part is SPO. The key is to get as close as possible to your buyers. If you want to have something in mind for 2024, is that SPO is not only about money. It's interesting to compare the dollars spent by your buyer and the dollars received in the other end. But SPO is also, and I would say actually mainly, about technical efficiency. So the speed at which the buyer is able to listen to your inventory and respond is critical. And the most efficient path will emerge not only by comparing dollars, but advertising performance overall. All right, that's it for me. For sure, there will be a lot of surprises this year. It's a rule of thumb for beginning of 2024, but we'll see in the end what will remain as a big subject. Thank you very much for watching. Don't hesitate to keep in touch with us if you need something, and I'll see you soon in another video.